we're going to go over cutting curves into a patio or... Okay, so we're looking to learn how to cut pavers on a curve, or if you're ever doing caps, you're going to want to make sure those seams are tight. So this encompasses all of those certain things. So if you're laying a paver edging, flushed into the ground, mortar set, if you're looking at installing something like a curve around a border of a patio and the joints are too wide, this is kind of what the process you're going to go through to figure that out. So you got pavers. If you have any chipped ones, save them for the corners. Honestly, this is a perfect example of that. You got a chip out of the corner, it's busted out. So just set them aside. You can use them for the border as long as they're the right color and texture. Caps, the same deal. So what you're going to be doing, let's just go over the process of laying them out. So if you have your border, you're going to figure that out. You're going to mark it onto the range of your patio. If it's patio, if it's the wall, then you're already going to have your wall set. You're going to lay all your pavers out on top. As you cut, they're just going to shift towards your cuts. So that's fine if you lay them out and you shift them as you go. I wouldn't lay like 100 feet of them because then you're going to have to shift quite a few pavers, but you get the idea. So as you're going around your corner, you're going to want to figure out the distance between here, just so that this seam and this seam are tight. For like a paver edging that you're laying down, the rule of thumb is that you're not going to have any seams larger than your thumb, the width of your thumb. So it depends on whose thumb it is. So don't have two people doing it where there's one the size of my pinky and one the size of Derek's thumb. But keep it consistent. If you're buttoning them all tight, make sure they all just look consistent. So that's kind of the general rule there. What you're going to want to figure out though is the distance between these two pavers. Say it's like that. You can take your measuring implement, whether it's a square or what have you. I would recommend using like a rafter square. So this is a framing square. A rafter square is just the triangle, the large triangle. The small speed squares work fine too, but they oftentimes can't cross over a large paver like this. So measure your opening. Right here, it is 1 7/8. So do that. Okay, let's call it 2. Because this is a training, we can do whatever we want. So 2 inches. So then you're just going to take an inch off of each of these. If it's a large gap like this and you take it off of one, you're going to have a full paver and then one with a huge cut out of it. Doesn't look as nice.
Where are you taking it off? Can you show us where you're taking
Sure.
it off?
You're going to be taking it off of the side that's butting together, so that at the end result is going to be like this. So it's going to be tight. So
Are you going to actually cut them, or are you just going to mark them?
I can mark them out. It doesn't need to be cut.
Mark the lines and show us what it would look like.
Yep. So if you have a 2-incher, you're going to take an inch off of each. That's for the drastic cuts. For the small cuts, you can just take it off of one side. Just use your best judgment on how it looks. Just make sure it doesn't look like a huge pinwheel because all the pavers are cut on one side. Kind of leaving it up to your discretion on that. So you're going to take your square, figure out 1 inch. Paver markers, I think County still has them. They're actually really nice compared to pencil. Pencil wears out so quick. So mark 1 inch on each of them. And then for cuts like this, you're actually going to take 1 inch to nothing. So what that means is you're just going to line your square up so that it goes down to 0 on the side with the wide gap to 1 inch. So then you're just going to cut, just take the line off. And then do that for the other side as well. Then you'll take both of these off. Could cut it, but I mean, you can use a concrete saw. You can use a table saw. We have all of those at your disposal. Ask somebody how to use them if you don't know. Concrete saw takes a little bit more work to get used to it, but you can still get the precision of cuts. It's a little bit more of a learning curve. And that's pretty much it. Then these two would just butt together seamlessly with that one. And one thing also, if you mess up a cut, if you have it available, the grind wheel with a cup on it, there are cups hanging up on the bench wall right there. That can help you trim up your cuts afterwards if you messed one up. That's good also for fine tuning walls with natural materials such as snapped stone or something like that. But that's pretty much it for the process of cutting curves into caps or borders. It's a tricky process if you don't know how to do it. That's why we decided to go over it, but it's pretty quick and simple solution. So any questions on that, comments? So yeah, I'll reiterate for the phone and for other people over here. If there's a drastic curvature and you cut one and not the other, so you cut all of the distance off of one of them, it's playing into the hypotenuse of the triangle here. So you've got a longer distance from here than here. So this will actually stick past, and it's going to look goofy. So Robbie's just reiterating that it's better to do equal cuts on either side. It's time consuming, but if you're fast, it goes pretty quick. So.
Yeah, you get some super dumb jagged edges.
Oh yeah, and that's where the cup comes into play too. If you mess something up, you can fine tune it. What else? Cool. All right.